find a black box at an older relative's house. It has a solar panel on top, a digital display, and it beeps when turned on. It looks like a radio, but it connects to your phone. The screen pops out. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an older model, solar-powered Bluetooth speaker, likely the Eton Ruckus Solar. These were popular gadgets a few years ago for camping or emergency kits. The solar panel allows it to charge in the sun, and it can play music from your phone or sometimes charge your device via USB. The pop-out screen is likely a kickstand or a display angle adjustment. It's a piece of eco-friendly tech from the early days of portable Bluetooth audio. You inherit a kitchen tool from your grandmother. It has a wooden handle and a metal shaft that ends in a circular loop or a sharp tube. It looks like it's meant to punch a hole in something. It's from the early 1900s. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage apple corer. You push the sharp metal loop through the center of the apple, twist, and pull. It removes the core and seeds in one neat cylinder, leaving the fruit intact for baking whole-baked apples, a popular dessert in the early 20th century. Some versions also have a peeler attached, but the simple tube design is a classic tool that has barely changed in 100 years because it works perfectly. You are cleaning under your child's bed and find a handful of small, green and white plastic pieces. They look like little cups or caps with holes in the center. You don't recognize them from any Lego set or action figure. They look like they snap onto something. Are they broken pieces of a toy? Does anyone know what this could be? These are the calyxes and receptacles from artificial silk flowers. Cheap fake flowers are assembled by stacking the fabric petals onto a plastic stem, and these green cups are pushed up to hold the petals in place. Over time, the glue fails, or a child pulls the flowers apart to play with them, leaving these nondescript plastic bits behind. They often end up under beds or in toy boxes, confusing parents who are looking for a broken toy that doesn't exist. You find a collapsible black plastic object. It expands like an accordion or a concertina. It has slots. It looks like a weird dish rack, but the slots are too narrow. It was popular in the 90s. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a collapsible CD rack. In the peak era of compact discs, people needed ways to store their growing collections of jewel cases. These folding racks were cheap and portable. You could stretch them out to hold 20 CDs on a desk, or collapse them flat for storage. The weird angle of the slots often meant you had to tilt your head to read the album spines, a nostalgic inconvenience for anyone who grew up in the grunge era. You find a plastic box with 7 compartments, each marked with a letter like M, T, W, T, F, S, S. It has a push-button mechanism to pop the lids open. It looks like a storage box for beads or screws. It was found in a bathroom cabinet. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a weekly pill organizer, or dosette box. It is a compliance aid designed to help people manage their daily medication regimen. Each compartment corresponds to a day of the week, allowing the user to sort their pills in advance and easily see if they have taken their medicine for the day. The push-button design is an accessibility feature for seniors with arthritis, who might struggle to pry open standard snap lids. You move into a new house and find a strange electrical outlet on the wall about halfway up. Next to the power socket is a weird hole covered by a brush or a rubber grommet. There is another matching set down near the floor. It looks like a mouse hole for wires. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an in-wall cable management kit, or power bridge, for a wall-mounted television. The previous owner had a flat-screen TV mounted there, instead of having ugly HDMI and power cables dangling down the wall to the cable box. They ran the wires inside the wall. The cables enter through the top brush plate behind the TV and exit through the bottom plate near the floor to plug into the outlet. It keeps the installation looking clean and wire-free. You find a weird little figurine at your grandma's house. It has the body of a stuffed animal or a person in a suit, but the face is a realistic, hand-painted ceramic cat face. It looks like a tiger clown. It's cute, but slightly uncanny. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a collectible doll made by Springford Inc., or a similar brand like Kamar in the 1980s. These face dolls featured soft, plush bodies combined with high-quality, hand-painted bisque porcelain faces. They were often dressed in whimsical costumes like clowns, Victorian outfits, or jesters. They occupy a specific niche of 80s nostalgia and are now sought after by collectors of vintage kitsch, though many people find their realistic stares a bit creepy today. You find a strange padded stool at a thrift store or garage sale. It looks like a normal stool, but the seat tilts, and it has two metal bars underneath. It sits unusually high or low. It doesn't look comfortable for sitting on for long periods. Is it a medical examination stool? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a tattoo artist's arm and leg rest. Unlike a stool for sitting, this is designed to support a client's limb while they get tattooed. The heavy padding ensures comfort during long sessions, and the adjustable tilt allows the artist to position the arm or leg at the perfect angle for their needle. The metal bars underneath might be for adjusting height or holding supplies. It's a specialized piece of furniture found in almost every tattoo parlor. You are going through old band equipment and find a black metal stand. It has a tripod base and a U-shaped fork covered in rubber at the top. There is another rubber rest lower down. It looks like it holds something curved. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a saxophone stand designed for an alto or tenor saxophone. The bell of the instrument rests in the large, rubber-coated U-shape at the top, while the body leans against the lower support. It allows a musician to safely set their instrument down on stage or in a practice room without putting it in its case. Without the stand, a saxophone is very awkward to place on the floor and prone to getting dented. You are sitting at your desk and hear a tiny tick sound, like a grain of sand hitting the wood. You look down and see a small pile of poppy seed-sized pellets. They are hexagonal and hard. You wipe them away, but the next day, the pile is back. Does anyone know what this could be? This is drywood termite frass, droppings. Unlike subterranean termites that build mud tubes, drywood termites live inside the wood they are eating, like your ceiling beams or furniture. They bore, kick-out holes to push their fecal pellets out of the colony to keep it clean. The ticking sound you hear is the pellets falling from the ceiling. This is a definitive sign of an active infestation directly above your desk. You find a plastic clip at a thrift store. It has a scoop on one end and a strong spring clamp on the other. There is a logo of a coffee bean on it. It looks like a kitchen gadget. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a combination coffee scoop and bag clip. It's a simple but brilliant promotional item often given away by coffee brands. You use the scoop to measure your coffee grounds into the filter and then use the clip handle to seal the rolled-up bag of beans to keep them fresh. It solves the problem of always losing the scoop at the bottom of the coffee bag. You are fixing a Samsung tablet and a thin metal piece falls out. It is rectangular with some holes. It has text like GTA 10.1. It looks like a cover for something. You aren't sure if you need to put it back. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an RFI, radio frequency interference, shunting EMI, electromagnetic interference shield. It snaps over sensitive components on the motherboard, like the memory chips or the processor. Its job is to block stray radio signals from interfering with the tablet's operation and to prevent the tablet's own electronics from creating noise that would disrupt Wi-Fi or Bluetooth signals. While the tablet might turn on without it, leaving it out can cause connection issues or overheating. You are walking on the beach and find a strip of metal buried in the sand. It has long, sharp spikes sticking out in different directions. It looks like a trap or a dangerous piece of machinery. It's rusted. It looks like it could puncture a foot easily. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a strip of bird spikes, or anti-roosting spikes. They are normally installed on building ledges, signs, and streetlights to prevent pigeons and seagulls from landing and pooping. This piece likely fell off a waterfront building or a pier during a storm and washed up on the beach. While designed to be non-lethal, just annoying to birds, finding a rusty strip of them hidden in the sand is a definite hazard for barefoot beachgoers. You find a piece of aluminum climbing gear. It looks like a tube with two slots and a wire loop. It has scratches inside the slots. It doesn't look like a carabiner. It looks like it holds rope. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a tuber-style belay device, often referred to as an ATC, air traffic controller, a brand name by Black Diamond. It is an essential safety device for rock climbing. The climber's rope is looped through the slots and clipped to the belayer's harness. The friction of the rope running through the metal tube allows the belayer to easily hold the weight of a falling climber and lower them slowly to the ground. The scratches inside are wear marks from the rope rubbing against the aluminum, showing it has seen some action. You put food out for a stray cat on your porch. Later, you find strange, pale, bone-like chunks outside the bowl. They look like teeth or rocks. They are hard. Did the cat throw up bones? Does anyone know what this could be? These are likely pieces of dry cat food, kibble, that have been sucked on and then spat out, or left to soak in rain or saliva. When kibble gets wet and then dries out again in the sun, the dyes and meat meals leach out, leaving behind the pale, starchy binder, corn or wheat. It swells and bleaches white, looking completely different from the original brown nuggets. It's just old, weathered food debris. You find a heavy metal tool on the side of the road. It has a long handle and a head with two articulating forks or prying feet. It looks like a crowbar on steroids. It is painted yellow or blue. It looks like it's meant to destroy something. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a pallet buster, or pallet breaker. Dismantling wooden shipping pallets to reclaim the lumber is notoriously difficult because they are nailed together with spiral shank nails. This tool uses leverage to pry the deck boards off the stringers, the support beams, with minimal effort. The articulating head keeps the prying force vertical, preventing the wood from splitting. It likely fell off a scrapper's truck or a carpenter's vehicle. You are replacing a door handle on a wooden door and find a sticky amber substance oozing out of the wood near the screw holes. It smells like pine. It looks like glue, but it's coming from inside the grain. Is the door melting? Does anyone know what this could be? This is natural wood resin or pitch. Even after wood is kiln dried and turned into lumber, pockets of crystallized resin can remain trapped deep inside the fibers. Years later, heat, like sunlight hitting the door, or the friction of drilling a new hole, can liquefy this resin, causing it to bleed out to the surface. It is incredibly sticky and hard to remove, but it is a natural characteristic of softwood species, like pine or fir, not a defect in the door construction. You find a beautiful ceramic doll at a thrift store. It depicts a Japanese woman in a kimono. It is unglazed bisque, matte finish, and hand-painted. It has a sticker on the bottom with Japanese characters. It looks delicate and artistic. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Hakata Ningyo, Hakata doll. It is a traditional Japanese clay doll originating from the city of Fukuoka. Unlike porcelain figures, which are shiny and glazed, Hakata dolls are known for their fine, unglazed clay surface, which gives them a lifelike, skin-like texture. They are hand-painted with mineral pigments. The characters on the bottom likely identify the artisan or the kiln, like Takumi Goro. They are prized collectibles representing various themes like beauty, kabuki theater, or children. You are looking at a gold chain necklace. It looks like a rope, but it's been smashed flat. It glitters a lot. You want to replace it, but don't know the name of the style. It's from the 90s. Does anyone know what this could be? This style is known as a flattened rope chain, or sometimes a French rope chain. A standard rope chain is made of links twisted in a spiral to look like a hemp rope. To create this variation, the jeweler takes that round spiral and passes it through a rolling mill to flatten it. This creates a wider, more reflective surface that catches the light brilliantly, making the chain look heavier and more expensive than it actually is. It was a staple of hip-hop and fashion jewelry in the late 20th century. Yup. You find a heavy industrial light fixture, perhaps at a surplus store or in a collection of aviation memorabilia. It has a thick blue glass lens and a rugged metal base designed to be bolted down. It looks like a garden light, but it's far too heavy-duty. It feels like it could survive being run over by a truck. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage airport taxiway edge light. In aviation lighting, colors are strictly standardized. White or yellow lights mark the runway where planes take off and land, while blue lights specifically mark the taxiways, the roads planes use to get between the terminal and the runway. These fixtures are built to be incredibly durable, to withstand jet blast and harsh weather. If you wire it up at home, it casts a distinct deep blue glow that pilots recognize instantly as the path to the gate. You explore an old farm in Kansas and find a heavy galvanized tub. It looks like a water trough, but it has a strange shape with a reservoir on top and an opening at the bottom. When you pour water in, it just flows out the front. It seems broken or missing a piece. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a side drinker stock tank for hogs, pigs. It is missing a critical component, the float valve and paddle mechanism. Originally, there would have been a metal flap in the drinking area. When a pig pushed the flap with its nose to drink, it would open a valve to let fresh water flow down from the reservoir. This design keeps the main water supply clean and prevents the pigs from wallowing in or muddying their drinking water. You find a black plastic fin or paddle attached to a wire. It has a screw-on connector at the end. It was plugged into the back of a desktop computer tower. It looks like a shark fin. You aren't sure if you need it or if it's just a piece of plastic. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an external Wi-Fi antenna. Desktop computer cases are usually made of metal, which acts as a Faraday cage, blocking radio signals. If the Wi-Fi card is buried behind the computer, the signal will be terrible. This antenna on a cord allows you to place the receiver on top of your desk, away from the metal box and interference, to get a better connection to your router. If you throw it away, your computer's internet speed will likely tank. You are cleaning out a garage filled with military surplus and find a heavy metal container. It is cylindrical and padded inside. It looks like it held something extremely sensitive. The markings mention seeker head. Is it radioactive? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a shipping and storage container for a guided bomb unit, GBU, seeker head, likely for a GBU-12 Paveway 2 laser-guided bomb. The seeker is the computer and sensor eye that bolts onto the front of a standard dumb bomb to turn it into a smart weapon. It detects the laser designated by a pilot or ground troops and steers the bomb to the target. The container itself is harmless, but it once held a piece of highly classified military technology. You find a glass apparatus that looks like a wine glass, but instead of a base, it has a rubber stopper or cork at the bottom. It looks like a funnel. If you set it down, it would fall over. It came from a joke shop. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a novelty bottle glass, or bottomless wine glass. The idea is that you shove the rubber cork stem directly into the neck of a full bottle of wine. The glass part sits on top, allowing you to drink straight from the bottle while pretending to sip from a glass. It's a classic gag gift for wine lovers, usually accompanied by phrases like, "Just one glass tonight." It's funny until you try to tilt a full bottle of wine up to your face to drink. You are eating a bag of coated peanuts or candy and find a massive, weirdly shaped lump. It looks like a snowball or a rock. It tastes like the coating, but is super hard. It is huge compared to the other nuts. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a giant clump of seasoning or coating, often called factory slag. In the factory, nuts and candies are tumbled in large rotating drums to apply the powder or shellac coating. Sometimes, moisture causes the powder to stick to itself instead of the product, rolling into a snowball that grows larger and larger until it falls into the packaging line. It's essentially a concentrated boulder of flavor dust or sugar shell. You find a red plastic tool with two metal levers. It belonged to an ex-husband. Inside the central bell, there is a strong magnet. When you pull the levers down, a metal ring inside constricts. It looks like a weird pair of pliers. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a wing capper or bottle capper, an essential tool for homebrewing beer. You place a sanitized crown cap, like on a soda bottle, onto the magnet, which holds it in place. Then you place the tool over the top of a filled glass beer bottle. Pushing the two levers down forces the metal bell over the cap, crimping the edges tight to seal the bottle. Finding one usually means someone in the house used to make their own craft beer or cider. You find a silver coin with a hole in the center. It has hearts stamped on it and squiggly lines. It says Denmark and 1 krone. It looks like play money or a charm because of the hole in the hearts. Is it real currency? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a legitimate 1 krone coin from Denmark. The hole in the center is a traditional design feature that helps blind people distinguish it from other coins by touch. The hearts are the mint mark of the Royal Danish Mint, specifically representing Copenhagen. While the design looks whimsical to foreigners, it is standard to spend money in Denmark. If you found it in the US, it's worth about 15 cents, but it's a cool souvenir. You find a wooden object at a thrift store. It looks like a smooth, curved stick or a baton. When you pull it apart, you realize it is a sheath concealing a blade. It has no handguard, just wood meeting wood. It looks like a hidden weapon. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Japanese tanto, dagger, mounted in shirasaya. Shirasaya, literally white scabbard, is a plain wooden mounting used specifically for storing sword blades to prevent corrosion. Unlike a combat mounting, koshirae, which has a handguard, leather wrapping, and decorations, shirasaya is designed to breathe and protect the steel during long periods of rest. Finding one at a thrift store is rare. It could be a cheap tourist replica or, occasionally, a genuine blade hidden in plain sight. You find a small black device with a USB plug on one end and a threaded socket on the other. It looks like a tiny antenna or a dongle. It was found in a teenager's room or a car. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a USB charger for a 5-on-10 thread vape battery or vape pen. You screw the battery part of the vape pen into the threaded socket and plug the USB end into a computer or wall adapter to charge it. They are cheap, ubiquitous, and easily lost. Finding one confirms that someone in the house is using a rechargeable vape pen, likely for nicotine or THC cartridges. You are looking at a pine tree or a fir tree and notice a dense, chaotic ball of twigs growing among the branches. It looks like a bird's nest, but it's huge and messy. It seems to be growing out of the tree itself, not built by an animal. It looks like a tumor or a deformity. Does anyone know what this could be? This abnormal growth is known as a witch's broom. It is a deformity in a woody plant, typically caused by a fungal infection, a virus, or mites. The infection causes the tree's natural growth hormones, cytokinins, to go haywire at a specific point, causing a massive explosion of shoots to grow from a single bud. In medieval times, people believed these were actually brooms left behind by witches, or nests where they rested. Today, horticulturists sometimes harvest them to propagate dwarf conifer cultivars for gardens. You are crawling around in your attic or looking in a utility closet and find a small, rusty metal box mounted to a rafter. It has thin wires coming out of one side and a thick electrical cable on the other. It is buzzing softly and feels warm. It looks like a fire hazard. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a doorbell transformer. It is the heart of your home's doorbell system. Its job is to take the high voltage electricity, 120 volts, from your house wiring and step it down to a safe, low voltage, usually 16 or 24 volts, to power the doorbell button and the chime mechanism. They are notoriously hidden in odd places like attics, basements, or behind chime boxes, making them difficult to find when the doorbell inevitably stops working. The buzzing sound is a common sign of an aging transformer. You find a gray plastic piece loose at the bottom of your dishwasher. It looks like a cap or a diverter. It doesn't look like a piece of a plate. Your dishwasher isn't cleaning the top rack very well anymore. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the nozzle cover, or conduit cover, for the upper spray arm water feed. In many dishwashers, the water travels up a tube at the back of the machine to feed the top sprayer. This cap connects the tube to the spray arm when you push the rack back. If it pops off, the water pressure just sprays uselessly against the back wall instead of spinning the arm to clean your glasses. Snapping it back into place should fix your dirty dish problem immediately. You are exploring an old barn in Pennsylvania and find a massive wooden and metal contraption. It has a huge threaded wooden screw in the center that drives a heavy block down into a slatted tub. It looks like a medieval torture device or a printing press. It smells faintly of old wood and dust. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the central screw mechanism of an antique cider press, or fruit press. In the autumn, farmers would crush apples into a pulp, pomace, and layer it in the tub wrapped in cloth. Turning the massive screw would press the heavy block down with immense force, squeezing the juice out through the slats to make apple cider. These presses were the center of social gatherings in rural communities during the harvest season in the 19th and early 20th centuries. You are decorating your Christmas tree and find an ornament you have absolutely no memory of buying. It is a medallion on a beaded necklace, featuring purple, green, and gold colors. It looks like a doubloon. You have never been to New Orleans. How did it get in your box? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Mardi Gras throw. These plastic beads and medallions are thrown from floats by the thousands during parades in New Orleans and other Gulf Coast cities. The crew, social club, organizing the parade often brands them. They migrate all over the country because people bring them home as souvenirs, drape them on lamps, or use them as packing material. It likely ended up in your ornament box, mixed in with secondhand decorations, or was left by a guest years ago. You buy a box of old treasures and find small paper wheels or dials. They have silhouettes of airplanes on them and numbers for speed and distance. They look like a game, but the planes are Spitfires and Zeros. They are from the 1940s. Does anyone know what this could be? These are aircraft recognition training dials, or spotter cards, from World War II. They were issued to civilians, like the Royal Observer Corps in the UK, and military personnel to teach them how to identify friend from foe. By dialing in the wingspan or silhouette, the user could calculate the distance and identify if the plane overhead was a friendly Spitfire or an enemy bomber. They were a crucial tool for civil defense at a time when an unrecognizable engine noise could mean an air raid. You find a strange black plastic object with a fabric strip inside. It came in a sleeve. It looks like a cleaner for something cylindrical. It doesn't fit any gun or kitchen appliance. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the cleaning tool for a spin end curl, or similar automatic hair curler. These devices suck hair into a heated chamber to curl it. Over time, hairspray and product buildup can accumulate inside the ceramic chamber. You insert this tool, which has felt or fabric pads, into the curler to wipe the internal surfaces clean without damaging the heating element. It's a very specific maintenance tool that is useless if you don't own that specific beauty gadget. You are boiling eggs for breakfast and notice a steady stream of bubbles rising from one specific spot on the shell of an egg. It looks like the egg is leaking air like a punctured tire. Is the shell cracked? Is the egg rotten? Does anyone know what this could be? This is the air cell escaping through the porous shell. Every egg has an air pocket at the blunt end, which provides the first breath of air for a chick before it hatches. As the egg heats up in the boiling water, the air inside expands rapidly. Since eggshells are permeable, they have thousands of microscopic pores to let oxygen in. The expanding air forces its way out through these pores, creating the stream of bubbles. It is a normal physical reaction to heat, not a sign of a bad egg. You are walking in Northern California or the Pacific Northwest and see a tree dropping weird red fruits. They look like strawberries or lychees, with a bumpy, spiky texture. They are soft and squishy. Are they edible? They look delicious, but alien. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the fruit of the strawberry tree, Arbutus unedu. Despite the name and appearance, they are not related to strawberries. They are native to the Mediterranean, but are popular ornamental trees in Western North America. The fruit is technically edible and sweet, but it has a mealy, gritty texture that many people find unappealing, hence the Latin name unedo, which translates roughly to "I eat only one," implying you won't want a second. They are safe, but don't expect a strawberry flavor. You find a small object in an old gift bag from a few years ago. It is a metal hook or key with a black rubber nub on the end. It looks like a bottle opener, but the shape is awkward. It has a finger hole. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a no-touch tool, or hygiene key, a relic of the early COVID-19 pandemic. These were mass-produced as promotional items. The hook is designed to pull open door handles without touching them with your skin. The black rubber nub is a capacitive stylus tip, allowing you to press buttons on elevators, ATMs, or checkout screens without using your finger. It's a specific artifact from a time when surface transmission of the virus was a major public fear. You tear open a bill or a letter from the bank and notice the inside of the envelope is covered in a dense blue or black geometric pattern. It looks like tiny static or a maze. Why print a pattern on the inside where no one sees it? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a security tint or a security pattern. Its purpose is to protect your privacy. If the envelope were just plain white paper, someone could hold it up to a bright light and read the contents, like a check amount or a social security number, through the sealed envelope. The chaotic, dark pattern scrambles the light and confuses the eye, making the text inside illegible from the outside. It is a simple, low-tech encryption for physical mail. You see a recessed electrical outlet on a wall, mounted high up, maybe 7 feet off the floor. It has a strange metal hook built right onto the faceplate. It seems too high for a TV. Why would you need an outlet with a hook near the ceiling? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a clock hanger receptacle. In schools, offices, and kitchens, electric wall clocks were the standard for decades. To avoid having an ugly cord dangling down the wall to a regular outlet, electricians installed these recessed pockets behind where the clock would hang. The clock plugs into the recessed socket, and the clock itself hangs on the integral hook, completely hiding the outlet and the cord. It's a neat, specialized solution for a very specific appliance. You find a black cable with a weird connector. It looks like a small barrel with a pin in the center. It screws or pushes onto a port. It came with a camera. It doesn't look like USB or HDMI. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a PC sync cord, Pronto-Compor connection. It is used in photography to connect a camera to an external flash unit or a studio strobe. Before wireless triggers became cheap and reliable, this physical cable was the standard way to ensure the flash fired at the exact millisecond the camera shutter opened. The PC doesn't stand for personal computer. It refers to the shutter manufacturers who standardized the port. It's a pro tool for lighting control. You find a fork at a thrift store with weird bent tines, or tines that are cut short. It looks useless for eating. It has a label or engraving that implies it's a joke. Why would someone ruin a fork? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a novelty diet fork. The humor is simple. The fork is intentionally designed to be non-functional. The tines are dull, bent, or cut off so you can't pick up any food. The joke is that if you can't eat, you'll lose weight. These were popular gag gifts in the 1970s and 80s, sold in Spencer's Gifts or novelty catalogs alongside diet spoons with holes in the bowl. It's an artifact of diet culture humor. You are walking in a park in Düsseldorf, Germany, or the eastern US, and find a bright green, wrinkly fruit on the ground. It looks like a brain or an alien orange. It is hard and heavy. It smells slightly citrusy, but contains a sticky, milky latex. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the fruit of the Osage orange tree, Maclura palmifera, also known as a hedge apple, horse apple, or monkey brain. The tree is native to a small area in Texas and Oklahoma, but was planted widely across the US and Europe as a natural, living fence before barbed wire was invented. The fruit is generally inedible to humans and most modern animals, except squirrels, leading to the theory that it evolved to be eaten by extinct megafauna like giant ground sloths or mammoths. You are eating peanuts at Five Guys and find a weird, hard, porous lump in the box. It looks like a moldy peanut or a piece of wood. It is light and dry. It's definitely not a nut. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a piece of dried corn cob, specifically the cob part without kernels. In agriculture, corn and peanuts are often grown in rotation. During harvest, bits of corn stalk or cob can get mixed in with the peanuts. Alternatively, crushed corn cob is sometimes used as a mild abrasive to polish the peanut shells during processing to make them look clean and bright. A chunk simply made it through the sorting machines and into your snack box. You are watching a singer perform on TV, like on Strictly Come Dancing, and notice a red rubber strip attached to their microphone stand. It has little slots in it. It looks like a piece of electrical tape or a grip. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a microphone stand guitar pick holder, famously made by brands like Dunlop, often called the Wedgie. It is a strip of rubber that clips onto the mic stand shaft. The slots hold spare guitar picks. This allows a singer-guitarist to grab a fresh pick instantly if they drop theirs mid-song without having to bend down or fumble in their pockets. It's a standard piece of stage gear for performing musicians. You find a hoodie or a flag with a specific triangular symbol, a burgee. It has a design that looks like a sailboat or a geometric pattern. It says White Yacht Lake Club or something similar. It looks nautical and exclusive. You wonder if it represents a secret society or just a local boating group. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the burgee flag logo for the White Lake Yacht Club, WLYC, located in Michigan. Yacht clubs have a long tradition of designing unique triangular flags to identify their members' boats on the water. These logos are often worn on clothing to show affiliation. While the name might sound fancy or exclusive, many lake yacht clubs are community hubs for sailing schools and social gatherings. It's a piece of local Americana representing lake life culture. You see a sticker on the back of a truck. It depicts a silhouette of a goose hanging upside down by its neck. It looks a bit morbid to the average person. Is it a protest sticker? A warning? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a waterfowl hunting sticker, often representing a game strap or a successful hunt. Duck and goose hunters carry their harvested birds out of the field using a leather strap with loops that cinch around the birds' necks. The imagery of a hanging goose is a symbol of success in the hunting community, similar to a picture of a trophy deer. While it might look jarring to non-hunters, it is a common piece of iconography for outdoor sportsmen. You are looking at the water in Safety Harbor, Florida, and see strange, volcano-shaped mounds rising out of the mud at low tide. They look like mini craters or ant hills made of rock. They are hard and sharp. They seem to be growing. Does anyone know what this could be? These are oyster reefs, sometimes whimsically called oyster volcanoes, due to their shape. Oysters are filter feeders that attach themselves to hard surfaces, often other oysters, building up vertical structures over generations. These mounds are critical for the ecosystem. They filter the water, prevent shoreline erosion from waves, and provide habitat for crabs and fish. The crater shape often forms as the colony grows outward and upward to maximize water flow and food intake for the oysters. You see a weird tan, foam-like blob attached to a branch or the side of a planter. It looks like hardened spray foam or a fossil. It is about an inch or two long. It feels hard and papery. You wonder if it's a cocoon or a fungus. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an Ithaca, the egg case of a praying mantis. In the autumn, the female mantis lays a frothy mass of eggs, which hardens into this tough, protective shell to survive the winter. Inside, there are hundreds of tiny mantis eggs waiting for spring. Gardeners love finding these because praying mantises are voracious predators that eat pests like aphids. If you leave it alone, you will have a garden full of natural pest control in a few months. You find an old book or look at a cornerstone on a building and see the letters MCMXX. It looks like a code or a secret message. You know they are Roman numerals, but translating them on the spot is tricky. How old is this item? Does anyone know what this means? MCMXX translates to the year 1920. In Roman numerals, M is 1000, CM is 900, 1000 minus 100, and XX is 20. Publishers and architects often used Roman numerals for dating books and buildings because they looked more dignified and classical than standard Arabic numerals. So, that antique you are holding is from the beginning of the Roaring Twenties, over a century ago. You are in the basement of a 1950s house and see a lone concrete block sitting on the floor. It looks like a small island of cement. It serves no structural purpose for the walls. You want to remove it to level the floor. Why is it there? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a boiler or water heater pedestal. In older homes, heating equipment was heavy and often leaked or created condensation. Builders poured these raised concrete pads to keep the metal tank off the damp basement floor to prevent rust and to create a level surface. Even if the original oil tank or boiler was removed decades ago and replaced with a modern wall-mounted unit, the heavy concrete footprint remains as a stubborn reminder of the house's mechanical history. You find a bright yellow or orange plastic object shaped like an L. It looks like a toy gun part or a tool. It came with a gun cleaning kit. It doesn't look like it shoots anything. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a chamber flag, also known as an empty chamber indicator, ECI, or open bolt indicator, OBI. It is a critical safety device. You insert the long plastic stem into the chamber of a firearm and let the flag stick out. This prevents the bolt from closing and gives a clear visual signal to everyone on the shooting range that the gun is unloaded and safe, cold. It's the universal sign of a safe weapon. You are looking at Google Earth images of the Falkland Islands or a similar landscape and see bright yellow patches along the roads. It looks like spilled paint or a weird fungus. It covers large areas. Does anyone know what this could be? These are gorse bushes, Ulex europaeus. Gorse is a spiny evergreen shrub with bright yellow flowers that was introduced to the Falkland Islands and many other places by settlers to create living fences or hedgerows for sheep. However, it is aggressive and hardy, and it has spread out of control in many regions, becoming a dominant invasive species. From a satellite view, its vibrant yellow bloom is unmistakable against the green and brown landscape. You see a mysterious symbol painted on a church wall in Sweden or Northern Europe. It looks like a complex maze or a labyrinth. Locals call it a devil's symbol or a trap. It looks ancient. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Trojaborg, Troy Town, or a Julian's Bower maze. These labyrinth symbols have been used in Scandinavia and Northern Europe for centuries. In Christian contexts, they sometimes symbolize the difficult path of a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. However, in folklore and apotropaic magic, magic to ward off evil, the maze was believed to trap evil spirits or the devil. The idea was that the spirit would get lost in the complex path and be unable to enter the church or harm the village. You buy a stretched canvas for painting and find a small bag of wooden wedges stapled to the back. There are usually 8 of them. They look like tiny shims. You don't know where they go. Does anyone know what this could be? These are canvas keys, or wedge keys. Over time, a painted canvas can sag and lose tension due to humidity or temperature changes. You insert these wooden wedges into the slots in the corners of the wooden stretcher frame. By tapping them in with a hammer, you slightly expand the wooden frame, which pulls the canvas tight again, drum tight. They are essential for maintaining the longevity and surface tension of an oil or acrylic painting. You are cleaning out a kitchen cupboard in the UK and find a white appliance. It is marked Designer Habitat, Model 07027. It has a plastic chute and a chamber that looks like it heats up. It doesn't look like a blender or a toaster. It looks like it shoots something out of the spout. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a hot air popcorn maker. Instead of using oil in a pan, this machine uses a heating element and a fan to circulate superheated air around the corn kernels. When the kernels pop, the expansion makes them lighter, and the airflow blows them up the chute and into your bowl. It was a popular, healthy alternative to microwave or stovetop popcorn in the 2000s. Without the top cover or a bowl, it looks like a strange industrial heater. You look up at a rooftop in Berlin and see a strange structure. It looks like a birdhouse surrounded by a complex array of antennas or metal rods. It looks like a secret spy transmitter or a weird scientific experiment. It doesn't look like a standard cell tower. Does anyone know what this could be? This is likely an art installation, specifically a piece by the artist Aram Barthol called Keep Alive, or a similar tech art project. Berlin is famous for its rooftop art scene. Artists often create sculptures that mimic infrastructure like antennas or surveillance gear to comment on technology and privacy. Unlike real antennas, which are purely functional and symmetrical, these sculptures often have whimsical or non-functional elements, like a rock or a flame, hidden inside the tech structure. You look at your window screen or grill and see a cluster of tiny, delicate white things. They look like microscopic flowers on long, hair-thin stalks. They are swaying in the breeze. They look too structured to be fungus. Did a bug leave them? Does anyone know what this could be? These are the eggs of a green lacewing, Chrysopidae. These insects are gardeners' best friends. The female lays her eggs on these long, silken stalks to keep them away from predators, including her own cannibalistic larvae that might hatch first on the leaf surface below. When they hatch, The larvae, often called aphid lions, are voracious predators that eat aphids and mites. Finding them on your window is a good sign for your local ecosystem. You find a branch on a tree or a flower stem that looks completely wrong. Instead of being round, the stem is wide, flat, and ribbon-like. It looks like 5 stems are fused. The flower head might be elongated or distorted into a weird crest. Is the plant radioactive? Does anyone know what this could be? This phenomenon is called fasciation, or cresting. It is a rare mutation in the plant's growing tip, apical meristem. Instead of growing from a single point, the cells start dividing along a line, creating this flattened, ribbon-like growth. It can be caused by genetics, a bacterial infection, or even damage from insects or frost. While it looks like a mutant alien plant, it is a natural curiosity often prized by collectors of succulents and cacti. You find a pair of comfortable leather slippers, or sandals. They are falling apart, and you want to buy a new pair for your father-in-law, but the brand name has worn off. There is a distinct logo on them that looks like a stylized fishhook or a shepherd's crook. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the logo for Olukai, a premium footwear brand inspired by Hawaiian culture. The symbol is a stylized makau, or Hawaiian bone fishhook. In Polynesian culture, the hook represents strength, prosperity, and safe passage over water. Olukai is known for its drop-in heel design that allows you to wear their shoes as either slip-ons or slides. Identifying the hook logo is the key to replacing those beloved, worn-out slippers. You are in a kitchen and see a red light switch on the wall, separate from the other switches. It isn't for the lights. When you flip it, nothing seems to happen, or maybe a fan turns on. Why is it red? Is it an emergency switch? Does anyone know what this could be? This is typically a dedicated switch for a garbage disposal unit. The switch is often colored red or placed at a distance from the sink to warn users that it activates a dangerous appliance. If nothing happens when you flip it, the disposal might be jammed, broken, or removed by a previous owner. In some older homes, a red switch might also control an electric water heater or a furnace, serving as a visual pilot light indicator that a heavy load is running. You open a can of wet cat food and find hard, white, jagged specks mixed in with the meat. They look like chips of plastic or rocks. You worry that the food is contaminated and might hurt your cat's teeth. Did a machine break at the factory? Does anyone know what this could be? These are bone fragments. In the manufacturing of pet food, whole carcasses, often poultry or fish, are mechanically deboned and ground up. Sometimes, small pieces of bone survive the grinding process. During the high-heat cooking and canning process, retorting, these bone chips soften significantly, becoming crumbly and digestible. While they look sharp and dangerous, they are usually soft enough to be crushed by a cat's teeth and are a source of calcium, though large pieces can still be a choking hazard. You find a heavy metal container that says 1851 and has German inscriptions. It is oval-shaped and curved. It has a screw-top lid. It looks like a giant flask or a canteen, but it's too heavy to carry around. It was found in a bed. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an antique metal hot water bottle, or bed warmer. Before rubber hot water bottles were invented, people used these copper, brass, or galvanized steel containers. You would fill it with boiling water, screw the cap on tight, and slide it between the sheets at the foot of the bed to warm it up on cold winter nights. The curved shape was designed to fit comfortably against the feet or body without rolling away. You find a short strip of elastic with a metal clip on one end and a loop on the other. It looks like a suspender, but there is only one. It was found in a bag of baby clothes or winter gear. Does anyone know what this could be? This is likely a mitten clip, or a pacifier clip. Parents use these to prevent toddlers from losing their winter gloves or their binkies. One end clips to the sleeve of the coat, or the child's shirt, and the other end attaches to the mitten, or the pacifier ring. It ensures that when the child inevitably pulls off their mitten and throws it, it dangles from their wrist instead of falling into a snowbank and disappearing forever. You are driving on the interstate and see a truck towing a trailer with strange tanks on it. The tanks are labeled LPG Prover. It looks like a mobile chemical lab. Is it dangerous? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a mobile calibration unit for liquefied petroleum gas, propane meters. Just like the guy checking gas pumps with a 5-gallon can, state weights and measures officials use this trailer to test the accuracy of the propane delivery trucks that fill home heating tanks. The prover is a calibrated tank that measures exactly how much gas flows out of the delivery truck's meter to ensure customers aren't being overcharged for their heating fuel. Your car is stolen and recovered days later. Inside, you find a weird plastic block with a line drawing on it. The drawing depicts 2 wings, one blue and one white, crossed over each other. It looks like a logo. It lights up. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an LED light or projector lamp featuring the Wings of Freedom crest from the popular anime Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. The logo represents the Survey Corps, the military branch in the show that fights the Titans. The thief who stole your car was apparently an anime fan who left their merchandise behind. It's a strange, geeky artifact to find at a crime scene. You are at a concert or an orchestra show and see a black, paddle-shaped or spiral device mounted on a stand near the stage. It points at the performers. It looks like a directional microphone or a heater. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a helical or spiral antenna for wireless in-ear monitor, IEM systems, or wireless microphones. Audio engineers use these directional antennas to beam a strong, clear radio signal directly to the receiver packs worn by the musicians. The spiral shape provides circular polarization, which prevents the signal from dropping out, dropouts, as the performer moves around and the orientation of their body pack antenna changes. It ensures the singer can always hear themselves over the loud crowd. You find a metal tool in your dad's old toolbox. It is a steel rod, triangular or star-shaped at the tip and circular at the other end. It looks like a punch or a chisel. It has been hit with a hammer many times. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a star drill, or rawl drill. Before electric hammer drills existed, this was how you made a hole in concrete or stone. You would hold the drill against the rock, hit the end with a heavy hammer, rotate the drill slightly, hit it again, and repeat. It was a slow, exhausting manual process of chipping away the stone dust to create a hole for a lead anchor or dynamite. It is a tool of brute force labor from a bygone era. You find a set of glass or crystal bars in a box of fancy dining ware. They are about 3 or 4 inches long, shaped like dumbbells or miniature benches. They were stored with the napkin rings. They look too small to be paperweights. Are they just table decorations? Does anyone know what this could be? These are knife rests. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, formal dining etiquette dictated that you did not place a used knife directly onto the tablecloth, as the grease or sauce would stain the expensive linen. Instead, you would prop the blade of your knife, and sometimes your fork, on this glass bar between courses. They fell out of fashion when meals became less formal and laundry became easier, but they remain a sign of a properly set Victorian table. You are eating chicken nuggets and dip one into a mixture of ranch and teriyaki sauce. Suddenly, a beautiful fern-like fractal pattern appears where the 2 liquids meet. It looks like frost on a window or a microscopic organism. It's mesmerizing. Why did your sauce do that? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a physics phenomenon known as viscous fingering, or the Safman-Taylor instability. It occurs when a less viscous fluid, like the watery teriyaki sauce, is injected into or displaces a more viscous fluid, like the creamy ranch. The less viscous fluid can't push the thick fluid evenly, so it breaks through in finger-like channels that branch out into fractals. It's the same fluid dynamic principle used to extract oil from rocks, happening right there in your dipping sauce. You find an old paper card and a box of souvenirs from a trip to Honolulu in 1984. However, the text on the card isn't English or Hawaiian. It looks like it's from Eastern Europe. It's a strange anomaly to find in a box of tropical vacation memories. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage dinner voucher for a resort in the former Yugoslavia. During the 1970s and 80s, Yugoslavia was a major tourist destination for Europeans. The text likely entitles the bearer to a specific meal or drink at a state-run hotel. Finding it mixed in with Hawaii souvenirs suggests the traveler was a jet-setter who tossed all their travel scraps into one box, or perhaps they visited a Yugoslavian-themed restaurant or event that was oddly popular at the time. You are driving on a highway near the mountains and see a solitary pole standing in a field. It has a cylinder or a box at the top, but no wires connecting it to anything else. It looks like a futuristic totem pole. It isn't a streetlight. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a small cell tower or a cellular network node, likely for 5G or 4G LTE coverage. Telecommunication companies place these standalone poles along highways to ensure continuous coverage for drivers in rural areas, where building a massive lattice tower isn't feasible or permitted. The cylinder at the top houses the antennas, shrouding them to look cleaner and less industrial. It's the physical infrastructure that keeps your GPS and streaming music working in the middle of nowhere. You find a small, clear container with a metal bottom in a box of your nephew's toys. It smells strongly of artificial grapes. You taste a drop, bad idea, and it burns your tongue. It looks like a toy part, but the chemical smell is alarming. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a cartridge for a vape pen, e-cigarette. It contains the e-juice, which is a mixture of propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, flavorings like grape, and nicotine, or THC. The burning sensation you felt was the nicotine, which is a skin irritant and burns when ingested in liquid form. It is definitely not a toy. Finding it among toys suggests a teenager was trying to hide their vaping habit from their parents by stashing the evidence in a younger child's toy box. You see a massive, gray, paper-like ball hanging from a tree branch. It is the size of a basketball. It looks like a piñata made of papier-mâché. It has a hole in the bottom. It looks quiet now, but it's terrifyingly large. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the nest of the bald-faced hornet, or aerial yellowjacket. These insects chew wood fibers and mix them with saliva to create this durable paper pulp. Inside the gray shell are layers of hexagonal combs where they raise their young. By late autumn, the colony usually dies off, except for new queens who hibernate elsewhere, leaving the nest abandoned. While it's a marvel of insect engineering, you definitely don't want to hit it with a stick in the summer. You are looking through your grandmother's bathroom cabinet and find a metal tool. It has a handle and a thin, curved neck ending in a red rubber cone. It looks like a tiny plunger or a poker. It doesn't look like a toothbrush. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a gum stimulator or dental pick. The rubber tip is designed to be massaged along the gum line to increase blood flow and toughen the gingival tissue, which helps prevent gum disease and recession. It can also be used to dislodge food from between teeth. It was a very common recommendation from dentists in the mid-20th century, which is why it is a staple artifact in grandparents' medicine cabinets. You buy a new refrigerator and find a weird wire rack inside the door or on a shelf. It holds items horizontally. It looks like a wine rack, but standard wine bottles don't fit. It takes up a lot of space. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a soda can dispenser. It is designed to hold standard 12-ounce beverage cans on their sides. You load the cans in from the top, and gravity feeds them down to the bottom opening. It allows you to store a 12-pack of soda or beer efficiently without having the cardboard box take up shelf space. However, many people remove them because they take up prime real estate that could be used for milk or leftovers. What was the weirdest object for you? Let me know in the comments and share this to test your friends. If you love uncovering these mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us find more curious explorers like you. Stay curious.